You are at Insightful Journey, and I am Tuệ An, your companion. Have you ever written an email, only a few lines long, but had to read it over and over 10 times before daring to hit send? Or have you ever finished a report, a piece of work, and everyone praised it, but you only saw a tiny mistake and tormented yourself all night? If the answer is yes, this video is for you. Today we won't talk about how to work more efficiently. We will talk about why are we so cruel to ourselves. Join me in the story of Min, a young friend whose reflection I believe is in all of us. Min was a talented graphic designer, but colleagues rarely saw Min smile. In the office, Min was always the last one to leave. Not because he had too much work, but because he couldn't stop fixing. One evening, the clock struck 11 p.m. The office lights were off. Only the blue light from the computer screen illuminated Min's pale face. He was working on an advertising poster. The client had already approved it. The boss had nodded his agreement, but Min had not. Min zoomed in on the screen by 300%. He stared intensely at a faint blue outline. He said to himself, "This is off by 1 pixel. It looks so cheap. If people see it, they'll think I'm careless." His hand trembled as he moved the mouse, adjusting it slightly to the left, then adjusting it to the right again. He deleted it and started over, then deleted it again. His chest felt tight, his breath short and hurried. In Min's mind, it was no longer a design but a court of judgment. I am not allowed to make a mistake. A mistake is failure. A mistake is useless. I have to make it absolutely perfect. By 2 a.m., Min collapsed onto the keyboard. He was exhausted. But ironically, the final design he saved was almost identical to the first version at 8 p.m. He had spent 6 hours just running from his own fear. You see, the perfection Min was pursuing was not actually a standard of beauty. It was a shield. This is what Tuệ An wants to share with you today. Perfectionism is not striving for excellence, it is self-defense. We try to be perfect not to succeed, but to avoid judgment, avoid being hurt, and avoid the feeling of not being good enough. But wait, the truth behind it is even more painful. What is the price of this shield? It is your inner peace. You lock yourself in an invisible prison where the warden is none other than you. Let's look deeply into this issue with Tuệ An, through the lens of psychology and a little bit of applied Buddhist philosophy. Psychologically, Min's fear of mistakes, or yours, often stems from conditional self-esteem. What does that mean? It means we believe, I am only valuable if and only if I do everything perfectly. If I make a mistake, I am worthless. This is an extremely dangerous and erroneous mindset. We equate the action with the essence. You make a mistake in one task, it doesn't mean your entire being is wrong. In Buddhism, there's a profound concept to illuminate this issue: ego attachment and impermanence. When we are too much of a perfectionist, we are attached to an image of a flawless ego. We want our image in the eyes of others to be sparkling, without blemishes. We fear that if one weakness is revealed, that image will shatter. But dear friend, the nature of this life is impermanence. Nothing is perfect forever, and no one is absolutely flawless. The Buddha once taught that suffering arises because we crave things contrary to natural law. Humans are imperfect. Making mistakes is a part of the human experience. When you deny yourself the right to be wrong, you also deny yourself the right to grow up. Imagine a tree. If the tree were afraid of growing a worm-eaten leaf, afraid of a branch bending awkwardly, would it dare to grow? No. It would die while still a seed. Life needs cracks for the light to enter. So how can we, who are tormented by perfectionism, find lightness? Tuệ An suggests 3 simple practical steps to unleash yourself. Step 1. Name the fear. When you are about to edit an email for the 5th time, stop, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, am I trying to make the work better, Or am I afraid of someone judging me? Identifying the fear is already winning 50% of the battle. Step 2. Practice the good enough rule. Instead of aiming for 100% perfection, which doesn't exist, aim for 80%. The 80% level is efficient, complete, and sufficient for the work to function. Allow yourself to finish before perfect. Remember this mantra: completed is better than perfect but unfinished. Step 3. Embrace the inner child. Every time you make a mistake, instead of criticizing, "How could you be so stupid?" try changing your tone. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. "It's okay. Mistakes are normal. I tried my best, and this lesson will help me be better next time." Friend, we were not born to be beautiful but soulless wax figures in a glass case. We were born to live, to experience, to be scratched, and to heal. There is a beautiful Japanese philosophy called wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. Like a broken ceramic bowl mended with gold, it is those very cracks that create the unique value of the bowl. You are the same. Your stumbles, your mistakes, the times you were not perfect, all create the radiant, profound, and compassionate version of yourself today. Don't wait until you are perfect to dare to love yourself. Love yourself even when you are covered in mud, because the lotus's fragrance doesn't come from a high pedestal, but from rising above the mire, doesn't it? Remember, I am still here if you need me.